Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong life for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well.
There you go, team. Welcome. Good morning to everyone out there. Another Wednesday. Property management Wednesdays. Still haven't come up with a title for that. I really need to knuckle down on that part. But good morning, everyone, team. I might just jump in, do a bit of intros, see who's online this morning, and we'll get into today's conversation. Kevin's here. Good evening. Good morning from me. Good evening to you. Thanks for coming along, Kevin. See who else is here. But team, if you haven't sort of seen me around before, my name's Cass, representing the R&W Property Management Group for the 6-star team, as the intro alluded to. And on Wednesdays, you get me. So called up the first grade again, keep me around. If you were with me last week, it's off to the origin, didn't work out for me. But, we get up and go again, don't we? So it's kind of like property management, really. You just get up and have another crack, which is what we do here at Positive and R&W team. Bunty, good morning to you as well. Roman's here as well. Good stuff, team. See everyone starting to jump in here. Now, before I get into today's topic, team, if you wouldn't mind just popping in the chat kind of, the location of your investment property. Kind of want to try and tailor this, this morning's conversation as best I can, because this morning we're going to be talking about some stuff down in Victoria. Some of the crazy politicians are coming at us again. We're going to talk about that, what they're doing. Roman says, go Queensland next time. Yeah, that's the thing, Roman. There's always a next time. I feel like that's been the feeling from us for about 15 years. But anyway, good morning, Luke, as well. Thanks for jumping on, as always. Good stuff, team. So today, team, I should say a fortnight ago, we were talking about Queensland legislation, some proposed rental reforms. We've seen that now in effect. And what we were talking about there was a few things like rent bidding, rent increases based around 12 months, which we already knew, but now it's around on the property, not so much the tenancy. We spoke about what might change there, and a few little, tweaks here that property managers might need to make. But today's topic, team, it's all about Victoria. So if you've got a property in Victoria, let me know in the chat. Would love to know, because it's your turn for some new proposed rental reforms, right? What now? What on earth are they going to be talking about this time around? We might already have enough. You can see Tracy, Queensland, New South Wales, let's get WA. Anyone with a Victorian property today, let me know in the chat. Because, sometimes what we found with the Queensland rental reforms was that it followed, what was happening in New South Wales and Victoria. And so, this may come through to other states and territories around the country. But today, team, not sure if you guys are aware, if you guys have seen it, but some new rental reforms that people are talking about down in Victoria in terms of what might be coming. And And if I share my screen correctly this time around, team, let's have a look at this and see if this works. Hopefully it will. There you go. An article I read a couple of days ago, it's just come out. New energy efficiency mandates proposed for Victorian rentals. Now, I'm not sure if that's zooming in all right for you guys. I might try and turn that landscape. Maybe that's a little bit better for you guys. Let me know in the chat if you can see that okay, or if it's a bit blurry, but hopefully you guys can see that. And what we're talking about here, team, is a bit of a consultation process that's going to happen to bring in some minimum, should have another coffee, energy efficient standards during the colder months underway. And as you'll sort of see from this article here, what they are proposing is, for rental providers, which is you guys, the investors, to ensure that there is ceiling installation, draft ceiling, weather seals around doors, windows, etc. Having a property that ensures you can cool and heat it efficiently and effectively. And the objective here, team, is to ensure, the idea behind it anyway, is to try and bring the cost of living down for renters. Now, that's going to be a process. There's nothing to worry about today in that space. I think certainly a lot of conversation around it, and I would love to get your thoughts. Maybe you guys have seen it, maybe you haven't, but I've got a couple of thoughts on it. When I sort of read that article, it said, "Oh, we're going to get the cost of energy costs down for renters," and that's all cool. I'm all for that. No issues there whatsoever. But is this going to be the answer? Is this going to be the solution? I'm not too sure. Team, I'm not too sure. Little problem I see there. I mean, could we see, and that article goes on to talk about, having a fair balance in terms of costs, holding costs, expenses and stuff for the rental providers, the landlords, you guys, investors. And I wonder if those increasing costs continue to go up, will there be some landlords out there who, say this is all too hard, I give up, and sort of exit the marketplace, which is not you guys, because you guys are the smart investors. Because on the flip side, I think there's a few smart people on this call and within the Six Star team and the wider group, being you guys, that are going to sort of benefit from this in the long term. And I just wonder, does that make rents go up even further than they already are? Will that create more pressure on rents for tenants anyway, and effectively increase that at the same time? So anyone else see a problem with that sort of stuff? Mandating rental providers to create more energy efficient homes. In my experience through the Six Star team, we work with a lot of new property, so perhaps a lot of the new property will be delivered to the marketplace already meeting these standards, just like the minimum standards are that we've covered over the last 6, 12, sort of 18 months across Victoria, across other states and territories in the country. And I just wonder, is this just another challenge, right? And I think, 13 years in the industry, what you do find is challenges and problems and hurdles, that they're just a part of owning property, right? It's just this time we are dealing with the politicians down in Victoria who want to propose some other new rental reforms, right or wrong, whichever side of the fence you sit. It's just a challenge. The smart investors, the long-term investors, I know, they win because they continue to put strategies in place. They continue to have a plan. They continue to have really good teams around them to help them through those hurdles to get over each and every one in that space. So I've got a couple comments coming through the chat, which is awesome. I'll just have a quick squeeze here, team. What do you got for me? Jeff says, got a rent review up enough to match the original leases at Ascot. Does that mean the first leases didn't increase? Just trying to understand that question there, Jeff. Maybe you need to clarify that in the chat for me. So if we're talking rent reviews specifically, it's 12 months from the property. So the first time you would have leased Ascot out, I would imagine, being that the first lease, 12 months from that date. And Jeff, hope the property meets all the new mandates. I do too, right? And that's the thing. What's going to be the plan for the investors, for the owners, rental providers, or whatever we want to call ourselves, and the property managers specifically? What's going to be the plan to make sure we adhere to these standards. Because, like I said, I think all we're going to see here is rents continue to rise, team. And I think what I do feel in my gut, what we will see, and this is countrywide. I think a lot of property managers will get caught out, team. I think a lot of owners will get caught out. I think people will try to cut the corners and not adhere to the minimum standards or the energy efficient standards. Now, what does that mean long term in the bigger picture? Well, there's some fines and things like that in place, which none of you guys are going to go down that path. But again, it's all about having a really good team. You have a really good team. Been talking about it for probably like 2-3 months now on Wealth Coffee Chats, and it's probably why it keeps bringing me back, because we're super passionate about making sure we keep you safe and make you wealthy, right? And this is just another component, another piece to put everything together. So I'm working on something in the meantime, because again, I think property managers need to have a really good plan. They need to have some sort of strategy, an alternative, and some options there for landlords. Because if, as a landlord, if we need to spend X amount on increasing the standard of our property to meet these energy efficient mandates and whatever other proposed rental reforms come our way, because again, these are just challenges that we're going to get through. What does that strategy look like? And so I thought I'd leave you guys with 4 things today. So number 1, we've been talking about really good, diligent rent reviews on your property, right? If your property manager isn't supplying you with the right data, the right information, your rent is behind market value, team, fix that up. That's the number 1 thing you guys can fix today, is get your rents up to match market value. And of course, as we're talking about, there's some boundaries around that, but you've got to get that up. Number 2, I'm doing a bit of a case study for a client at the moment, because we want to find out how we can maximize that rent. And regardless of what reforms come our way, or what we're, if we need to go left or right, doesn't matter. Option number 2 might just be looking at furnished options, because there are some significant results in that space. Number 3, like, what does a renovation look like? Cosmetic repairs. Could this be the time for you to maybe take some equity out that you've got lazy equity sitting around there? You're not doing anything with that money. Maybe spending $20,000-$30,000 on a cosmetic reno. Now, there's some really good companies out there that we're working with at the moment that can give us some really cool results. And I think what we find is that return on investment is really good, outweighing what we can do if we were to just leave that property alone. And so maybe every 5 to 7 years, we should be having that conversation. Your property manager should be coming to you and saying, hey, if we spend X, we'll get Y, right? That's the conversation we want to have. It's about keeping you safe, making you wealthy, right? And that's the making you wealthy component. The last part is like a combination of renovation and furnished stuff. So, team, there's a few things, whilst there might be some reforms and there might be an article here or there, and there might be a politician telling you how to do things, it's for us, it's to identify what's really at heart here, acknowledge what's going on, set a plan, set a strategy there, and just get on with it, right? It's also all about execution. Like I said, 30 years doing this gig. There's been rental reforms left, right, and center, different notices, whatever. Things will constantly change. It's just part of the journey for every investor. Yeah, Luke says there'll be compliance costs for sure. Yeah, and that's it's all part of it, right? We might not agree with a lot of the time, but again, it's about keeping your tenant safe too, right? You need to look after the tenant, of course, your renter, super important, And you know what, team, if these rental reforms, or when these rental reforms come into play, that could be the difference between your property getting rented faster than the next person who isn't willing to, invest in their own asset, right? And so, you're going to get your property rented faster. You're going to get more money for it, of course, but you're going to attract a better quality renter into your property, and therefore the likelihood of them, absorbing market increases over the next 3 to 5 years, the ability for them to want to stay longer in that place is just going to be better for you long term. So, team, check that article out. It's just proposed reforms. There will be a consultation process, of course. Nothing to panic about today. Just thought I'd shout that from the rooftop today and let you guys know what's sort of happening out there in the marketplace in between states, because a fortnight ago we were talking about Queensland. We might look at what else is out there in the marketplace. But team, today it's all about keeping you safe and making you wealthy as we do. Now, that's kind of the main stuff I want to run through today, team. If there's any questions, please pop it in the chat for me. Always love it. Been getting a few questions from you guys over the last sort of month, which has been fantastic. Keeps me coming back every Wednesday, team. So if you're enjoying property management chats on a Wednesday, if there's a topic out there you want to know, certainly let me know about it, because I'll be more than happy to unpack that. So, team, that's it for me today on a Wednesday. Hope you guys found that informative. Hopefully, if you didn't, let me know as well. We can try and improve it next week. But yeah, team, thanks so much. That's Wednesday done and dusted. Don't forget, Wealth Coffee Chat's back tomorrow about 8:10. You'll get Jason Witten back on your screens, which will be fantastic, team. So that's it from me, team. You guys have a good Wednesday. Catch you soon.
Episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-Star team here at positivementor.com.au.